That was so much fun. Rosie squealed, sticking a fork into a rather large French fry and stuffing it into her mouth. We really need to come back to this amusement park sometime before it moves again. Rosie. Don't talk with your mouth full. Yuki chided, using a fork and knife to delicately cut apart her chicken strips. Ah, come on. Rosie responded, still talking with a mouthful of French fries, to Yuki's dismay. Don't be such a party pooper. I'm not a party pooper. I'm just respectable. Yuki scoffed, crossing her arms. Hey guys. What's up? I thought you were going to the arcade today. The unexpected voice of Ki sounded. Yuki glanced to the side, to see their other two housemates standing by their table. Kuri and Ki. Well, I heard about the amusement park and decided that would be more fun. Rosie giggled nervously. The park is pretty aesthetically pleasing, but lacking when it comes to the rides themselves. Kuri commented, sitting down at an empty chair at their table. You're just saying that because you have motion sickness, he teased, elbowing Kuri, who gave the blonde a rueful glare but did not deny it. Maybe we should go to the stadium tomorrow. Catch a live match or two, while the tournament's in town. Yuki suggested. The ping-pong matches should be played tomorrow. It would be a lot less demanding of us than the Wheel of Death ride or something. Well, I think we should postpone this conversation after we've finished eating. Rosie concluded impatiently. I'm starving. With that statement, she opened her mouth wider than anyone could imagine, and swallowed her burger whole. You just don't wanna admit I have a point, Yuki scoffed, muttering under her breath as she poked at her chicken. Kuri was devouring her tuna rolls at record pace, while Ki was absolutely destroying her turkey sandwich. Literally. The bread was crumbled and cracked, the turkey breast ripped into pieces, the lettuce bruised and battered while the tomatoes were nowhere to be seen. No one understood just why Ki always had to get so violent with her food. The four girls ate in silence underneath the shade of their outdoor table's umbrella. Beyond the pavilion, adults and children alike roamed the streets of the temporary amusement park. It was a gorgeous day for outdoor activities, with a balmy temperature, clear skies, and a mild breeze. A perfect day, according to many. Until it was not. Yuki was taking a sip of lemonade when alarms suddenly started blaring over the amusement park. The shouts of excitement and laughs of joy morphed into panic and confusion. Dark gray clouds were looming on the horizon. Attention, citizens of Los Angeles. Incoming unidentified attack. Threat level 9. Please seek shelter in the nearest subway station in a calm and orderly manner. A robotic voice droned over the intercom. Ki stood up, slamming her hands on the table. What's going on? Rosie asked fearfully. I don't know, but we need to get to safety. Come on. Ki cried, grabbing Rosie and Kuri's hands before dashing out of the restaurant pavilion and towards the nearest subway station. Yuki quickly followed suit. The amusement park was in complete and utter chaos. Parents grabbed their children and dashed immediately towards the subway. Other lost children were crying for their mothers and fathers, and every once in a while, someone would fall over and get trampled by the crowd. Ominous thunder and lightning rumbled in the distance. What is that? Rosie squeaked, shakingly pointing to a figure in the air. Yuki looked up and saw something flying in the sky. It wasn't a plane or helicopter, instead, it looked more like a fiery bird. The creature let out an ear-piercing wail, before shooting several fireballs at the panicked people below. The Ferris wheel and the Wheel of Death burst into scorching flames. Yuki felt her heart racing, adrenaline rushing through her blood like crazy. The subway entrance came within reach. Ki, who was in the lead, pushed past the signs blocking the entrances and scrambled down the stairs. Yuki never quite liked subways before, the dark descent to the underground always gave her creeps. But in this otherworldly circumstance, she was much happy with charging boldly into the darkness. In the subway station itself, people were taking shelter underneath vendor stands, benches, and even on the rail itself. But most people were crowded around a large screen TV next to the noodle stand, broadcasting the utter chaos happening outside. Has monsters roaming the streets of Los Angeles? The news reporter on screen said. Footage of all different kinds of horrific creatures roaming the streets of Los Angeles was shown, seeing giant star moles and giant flying birds stumbling around places that would normally be jam-packed with civilians. Yuki held a hand to her mouth, her frosty blue eyes wide. Troops are being dispatched to handle and contain the situation immediately. 59 minutes ago, beach dwellers on the ocean shore first spotted one of these terrifying creatures crawling out from the ocean. Further investigation of where they came from is currently being conducted. Yuki wondered just how the lavender-haired news reporter could remain so calm about a literal apocalypse. What are we going to do? Rosie whispered. Before anyone could reply, the ground began to rumble. It started as a small vibration, barely noticeable, but it quickly escalated to earthquake-like shaking. The ceiling groaned ominously, and some of the lights flickered. Crash. Rosie? Curry? Key? Yuki called, coughing in the dust cloud that the collapse had caused. She crawled through the rubble of what was once the ceiling of the subway, searching desperately for her friends. I'm over here. Rosie squeaked. Yuki immediately rushed over to a pile of smaller rocks and pulled the largest chunk off, revealing a bruised but overall all-right Rosie. Where are Curry and Key? Yuki asked frantically. Over here, Key called. Yuki shifted her attention over to a partially crushed vending machine, where Curry and Key had taken shelter underneath when the ceiling came down. She rushed up to the two, giving them a huge hug. Oh, thank goodness you're all right. Yuki exclaimed fiercely. What was that? I don't know, maybe? Curry was cut off by another rumble. She froze, her light brown eyes scanning the immediate premise. Most of it consisted of chunks of rock from the ceiling. Then, the scream of a beast.